Namo Namaha. Welcome to the inscription series. And from today onwards, we will be talking about inscriptions as promised earlier. But before we begin with what the actually inscriptions are inscribed upon, do you know what are the inscriptions? Why are they done? Most probably, the inscriptions are inscribed on stones, on pillars, on metals as well, in order to let the public know about the work done by the king, or also for keeping the records of certain things, certain constructions, as well as we find that many records of huge success of the king, like it might be a Digvijaya or a reconstruction of any temple or construction of new bridge or new dams, that has also been recorded. Mainly, the metal inscriptions include the donations, the record of donations. In earlier times, the huge villages would be donated to few people so that they get a source of income. Anyone else won't be able to take away their right of income. So, in this way, there were metal inscription, that is copper plates mostly, so that their right remains intact. And such kind of record were inscribed for purpose of historical record. Apart from this, there were royal edicts, moral edicts on rock inscriptions and pillar inscriptions. If the king has achieved something great, then there were preciosities, that is, his praise was written on the pillars or on stone inscriptions. So, talking about the material on which the inscription was done. Firstly, the most famous is the rock inscription. In the later times, we also find that walls of temples being inscribed. Also, the pillars of the Buddhist stupas. Mostly on the Buddhist stupas, we find the donations given by the devotees. Then comes the next Dhwaja Stambha. So, in the earlier times, in front of the Vishnu's temple, there was one dhwaja. On that pillar, on that dhwaja, if there is a pillar, it was being inscribed. We find such kind of inscription at Madhya Pradesh in Vidisha, and that Dhwajastambha of Madhya Pradesh is erected by Greek envoy Helidorius. Then comes the Jayastambha. Now, this Jayastambha, the name as it tells its meaning, Vijaya, that is victory. In order to tell about the king's victory of Digvijaya, a pillar was inscribed praising him and talking about his victory. Then Chayastambha is one of the type of inscription where a replica of a person is erected in the name of a person who has died, which is called as Chayastambha. Then Veergala is one of the most famous types of inscriptions which we found in Maharashtra and also many places at Karnataka. If a person, if a courageous person who has sacrificed his life for his village, for his kingdom, or to protect anyone, then a Veergala has been created for as a tribute to him. Then the Sati stone. If a Suhasini, a married woman, goes Sati, then a Sati stone has been created in the earlier times. Also, we find few different type of inscription like the brick, which is made up of soil, and also few mudras which were made up of soil. Then we find copper plates, uh, mostly for the purpose of keeping the record. Then there were also few gold inscriptions available. Mostly the very rich Businessmen used to do that to keep the record of their lineage. Then comes the another expensive inscription, that is silver. These kind of inscriptions of gold and silver are quite rare, but we find them. The silver inscriptions are found in Takshashila and Bhattiprolu. Then bronze inscription are also found. We found it in Sohagowda. Then in medieval period, we find many inscriptions created on iron. In Andhra Pradesh, at Srikakulam, we find one Buddhist inscription which is inscribed on Shankha. In earlier times, also there are completely different types of material used for inscriptions, like Hastidanta, that is ivory, back of the turtle as well. And further then comes the manuscripts which were used for writing, to keep the records or to uh, write down something which is either for shorter period or longer period, which consists of Tadapatra, that is palm leaves, Bhurjapatra, and also in quite later period we find few materials like paper, but it was quite a later period. One thing to take into consideration, that even cloth was used for inscribing. So the seed of tamarind is used, and it is with water, its paste is created, applied on the cloth, and then make and after drying it, it is inscribed on them. We find such kind of inscription in Karnataka, and it is known as Kaditas. We and this is especially found in Shrungeri Matha. Now, in today's date, we don't find such kind of inscriptions, as we have papers available with us, as we have files to keep record, or nowadays we use computers. But even today, we have few remains of this tradition of inscription. If you know, when we gift few utensils to a newly married couple, or to few people whom you are very close to, you you carve their name on that utensil to give it. So in a way, it creates a record of who has given on which date to whom which thing. In these remains, we have this long tradition of inscription. So this was a quite an introductory basic video based upon the inscription. We would be in detail talking about the inscriptions quite soon, and till then stay tuned for the next episode based on the inscriptions. Also let us know in the comments how do you find the video. Suggest us what should be talked about. Dhanyawad.